A long time ago, in a quiet village at the edge of the great forest, there was a little boy named Ali. Ali loved to dream. His dreams were bright and full of wonders. Giant trees with golden fruits, talking animals, and rivers made of light. Every morning, he would run to his grandmother and tell her about the magical places his dreams had taken him.
On this day, Ali asked his grandmother, "Why do you always tell me to pray before I sleep?" His grandmother told him, "My dear Ali, the night is not as quiet as it seems. There are beings that roam in the dark. There are dark spirits. These spirits are hungry creatures, but they do not eat food like you or I. They eat dreams, the dreams of the young, the pure, and the bright." Ali's eyes widened. "Are you serious, Grandma?" "Yes, my child. If they take your dreams, they will leave you empty. You will wake up feeling tired, scared, or angry, with no dreams to guide you. That is why we pray before bed. Our prayers are like a shield that drives these dark spirits away," his grandmother told him.
That night, when Ali went inside his room, he knelt down by his bedside and whispered his prayer. "O great Creator, protect my dreams as I sleep and keep me safe through the night." When he had uttered these words of prayers, he lay down on his bed, and off to sleep he went. These dark spirits were already lurking deep in the forest. They had started to plot. For years, some of the villagers had been praying, and so they were starving. But this night, they were desperate and found a way to sneak into the village when most people were sleeping. As Ali slept, one of the dark spirits crept into his room. It was eager to taste the dreams of a child for the first time. As it was about to touch Ali, a bright and soft glow surrounded him. The glow grew brighter until it burned like the sun. The dark spirit screeched in pain and fled back to the darkness where it came from. Ali's grandmother was in her own hut. She sensed the disturbance, but she tightened her hands in prayers and murmured, "They will not win." The next morning, Ali woke up full of energy, his mind buzzing with a new dream to share. As he rushed to his grandmother's hut, he noticed something strange in the village. Some of the other children sat quietly, their hands folded beneath their jaws, their eyes dull and their faces tired. They looked as if they had not slept at all. He found his grandmother cooking by the fire. Her face was serious. Before he could tell her about his dream, she told him to sit. "Ali," she began, "did you see the others this morning?" Ali replied, "Yes, they look strange. What happened to them?" His grandmother sighed and said, Some did not pray last night, and the dark spirits stole their dream. Ali remembered that he had seen something similar, but a bright and glowy light had protected him from going near it, so he couldn't really tell if it was the same thing that his grandmother was talking about. He asked, "What will happen to them now?" His grandmother replied, "If they continue to forget their prayers, then an emptiness inside them will grow. They may lose more than their dreams. They may begin to have feelings of fear, sadness, and doubt. And this is what the dark spirits grow on. Once they eat enough, they leave the person unable to hope, to love, or to imagine, or even to function properly in their daily activities."
That evening, as the sun set in the sky, the villagers gathered. Ali's grandmother stood tall, her voice steady as she explained the dangers of not praying to the villagers. When we forget to call upon the Creator, these dark spirits can have access to our dreams. Prayers are our strongest weapon. Together, we can fight against these dark spirits. But we need to do that by remembering that we need to pray. Tonight, we will put on a sacred fire that will remind everyone that we need to pray before we say good night. The villagers rallied round and gathered logs of wood, which they used to put on a fire in the middle of the village square,
so that everybody will be reminded to say their prayers before they sleep. But not all the villagers believed the old stories. Some said these are just stories that are meant to scare us. These stories hold no water. Among them was a young hunter named Akin. Akin said, "I have slept several nights without praying. Nothing has come for me, and so I do not believe in it." Ali overheard him saying it, and it made him feel uneasy. That night, as the sacred fire burned, everybody prayed and went to bed. Akin was already fast asleep, and he did not bother to say his prayers for the night. And so, in the darkness of the night, the dark spirits gathered. They began to search from house to house to find out if there would be a house where a light would not be shining. They continued to search and almost got tired when they discovered that there was a hut that did not have a light coming from it. And so, gradually they crept into that hut and visited Akin while he was sleeping. They began to feed on his dreams, and when they were done, they left.
The next morning, when Akin got up, he looked like someone who had just seen a ghost. He looked like a shadow of himself. He looked older, he looked worried, and he looked so full of tension. And this was not obvious to him yet, but he knew that something was wrong. He felt different, he felt drained, he felt weak. Soon, a group of women who were close by also noticed the same changes. They knew him as a vibrant young man who was extremely carefree, but now who they saw was someone who looked burdened by life's responsibilities. And so, when they decided to go near him and ask him, he bent his head in shame. This is because everybody overheard him the previous day when he was saying that all the stories about the dark spirits were made up. Everybody was also aware of his opinion that you did not need to pray before you go to sleep every day. And they wondered to themselves, what could be the problem with him? He seems so quiet and out of this world. One of the older women went to sit near him. She told him, Akin, I know why you are silent. You do not want to admit that we were right, but it is okay. All I have come here to say is, it is not too late to change. You can still change, and change for the better. This night as you go to bed, please pray. We also have a meeting in the village square very soon. I would like you to be there so that you can also hear from others. So go and take a bath, clean yourself up and put on a bright face. Nothing has gone wrong yet. This is one of the many experiences you will have in life. I shall be expecting to see you at the village square. Akin thanks her for her kind words and promises to change for the better. Ali's grandmother had called for a meeting at the village square. This meeting was to unite the villagers and strengthen their faith. It was also to remind them of the importance of continuing on the path of constant prayer. She reminded them that prayer is not just a ritual, it is a powerful act that connects us to protection, hope, and light. It guards us from unseen dangers and reminds us that we are never alone, no matter how dark the world becomes around us. And so this is why it is very important to keep on the lifestyle of constant prayer. She urged everybody, from the old men to the young women to the teenagers and to the children. She told them, no matter how small or no matter how little, try to utter a word of prayer before you retire for the night. And with this, the meeting was over. As everyone retired to their various homes for the night, the words of Ali's grandmother were stuck in the heads of everyone. Akin knelt down by his bed. Immediately he came into his house and proceeded to say his prayers for the night. This is because he did not want a repetition of what happened to him the previous day. The children in the community also knelt down by their various beds to say their prayers for the night. The same goes for every other person in the village, because they all heard about what happened to Akin and they did not want such a thing for themselves. And so from then on, prayer became their lifestyle.